Yo, what up? February 11th, 2024, Virtual Strangers episode 206 is live. I am your host, Wes. With me as always is my good friend, Roots. Roots, welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, it's we went away for so long, and we were both saying that like we were forgetting certain things, getting ready. But I'm glad that the issues, the audio issues, and everything else was just waiting there for us to come back. It was just waiting. It's like, hey, we're just gonna try to fuck you. But like you said, in between, you were like, no, we know what we're doing. We can fix it, and yeah, so that's always good.
We did. We fixed it. We got it up. We're only 20 minutes late, which is right on time for us. I mean, bro. So obviously, we're not going to take too long here today because it is Super Bowl Sunday, and we do have to all go together and watch the San Francisco 49ers win their crown today. So,
That's right. It's happening.
So if it had been any longer for us to get started, then we would have won anyway. But we wouldn't have been happy about it. So I'm glad we got it lined out.
Yeah, absolutely. 17-10. You heard it here. Definitely. I don't know. I have a feeling, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. And nobody wants to see Kansas City win anyway.
Roots knows these things. He says 17-10. Take it. MyBookie.ag, promo code strangers. Deposit $50. They give you $200 back.
Oh God, that's a good deal.
That's not a real thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of them,
but one day that will be a thing. Hello everyone, welcome back. Hey, firmly back on the horse again. 206. We've been back here and there, but this is the first numbered episode since before winter started. Roots.
It's official. It's bad. It's like when Alex and Skiva have their season premiere. It's on from then on until the end of the season, right? And I guess up until today, everybody kind of didn't know what the hell's going on. When are these guys coming back? And just kind of like the audio issues, life keeps throwing shit at us, and we keep like weaving and dodging. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad we're back.
There's plenty of stuff to dodge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's like we're still weaving and dodging. I'm sure life is going to eventually hit me in the gut again real soon. But in the meantime, we're here. We've got VR to talk about. We got games to give away. Damn, dude. Did you see all the games we've got to give away today?
I did. I remembered them all as I was pulling all the scenes because I went through and I purged my C drive download. I was like, man, it's getting up to like a couple hundred gigs. I have like all sorts of crap in there, pictures I don't use for the show. Like I pull all this or videos. I pull everything weekly. And I started thinking, why am I holding on to all this stuff? I never pull videos, old ones on the fly. So I purged it all. And yeah, so it was good. But now I'm refilling it.
I've got a folder with every thumbnail in it from episode 1 to 206. It makes me wonder if I should compile that into like a PDF or something just to give patrons or anybody that might be interested in it. It's a nice little history of VR during the last 5 years.
Especially if you're updating it weekly, because Dee would love that because she's always asking me for thumbnails for the audio version, which, if you aren't listening to the audio version, it's out there because Dee is doing it. So we appreciate you, Dee. She's on top of it. And
yes,
we couldn't do it without literally couldn't do it without you because I wasn't doing it. So we appreciate you.
Yes. Shout out Dee for making sure the Virtual Strangers presence on audio podcast format is a thing. That is 100% because of Dee. Thank you, Dee. And shout out VR Spraga. He's the one that typically does the timestamps. So
it's crazy. We appreciate you.
Shout out Spraga. Yeah, you guys are awesome. So yeah, we're back. We're here to talk about VR, and things are happening in VR. Roots, it's weird. Like the last couple of weeks, VR's kind of gone on without us. We haven't been on Crewcast because of things happening in real life. But I see what people are trying to talk about. through my YouTube feed, and it seems like I've been seeing an awful lot of Apple Vision Pro
Ooh.
headlines, Apple Vision Pro thumbnails, and it makes me wonder because I was as excited as the next guy about Apple Vision Pro when they announced it and they announced what the specs were going to be. And I started to think about what having Apple in the VR space is going to mean long term for VR. And all that stuff still kind of excites me. But since the thing came out, um, I don't care. Like, I don't click on these videos. I might have watched one or two of them. I haven't even watched Brad's take on it. And I got thinking, why don't I care about this? And I think it's for two reasons. One, I'll never buy it. I'll never buy it. If the specs and everything about this was exactly what I wanted to be, I would never buy it. It's so expensive. And I think the other thing is, the other reason why I don't care is because it's not a gaming headset. You can't play VR games on it. So what am I going to do? I mean, I like watching 3D movies as much as the next guy, and who doesn't love the VR prawn? But this thing is $4,000. Would you even use it if you had one? Like if someone gave it to you, how much do you think you would use it?
I would use it like I did when I first got my Rift, OG Rift, and I watched the Super Bowl on a big screen. I read an article recently, and they were talking about playing Pal World on a 300-inch screen. And I literally was like swept back in time 6 years to when I got into VR and I watched the Super Bowl on a 300-inch screen, and I thought this is fucking cool. And now I'm like, it's okay. I don't want to watch something on a screen in TV. And so like I don't watch movies. I mean, I watch YouTube. That's about it. So no, I wouldn't use it. I think I'd play with it for a little bit and then I would move on.
Yeah, it doesn't even have YouTube on it either. That's the
No,
weird thing. It's like
there's
it
no
doesn't
app.
even have YouTube.
Right. The one thing that I would use. Although, like, apparently people are making moves, but I mean, I don't know. I'm with you. I haven't clicked on one video. I haven't watched a video. I've read articles as I was skimming through stuff, and I just don't really care. I don't like, I feel like if
It
this,
makes
it's going to push things forward, and I know that. I just, that for me, I just don't care.
It makes me wonder how the content's doing on traditional VR gaming channels. Like I think that a lot of people are excited about it. I think a shitload of people are excited about it. But I think the people that are excited about Apple Vision Pro are either Apple enthusiasts or people that aren't already into VR.
Mm.
And now they are starting to become aware of what VR has to offer, even though they don't know it's VR because they don't call it VR. It's spatial computing or
And
whatever.
and the content creators that want to have the new thing that everybody's looking to find out about.
Well,
That's
that's
a
that's the thing. It makes me wonder. Outside of general tech channels, how's the content doing? Like with Mike VRO, how is the content doing? Well, people who typically cover games are more people tuning in now um, because of their Apple Vision Pro. Because what I suspect is that they're not, and what I also suspect is that when these content creators find out that people don't really care, they're going to take this thing back and return it, which they probably already planned on doing anyway. They just went and bought one so that they could make 5 videos with it, and they're going to go get their $4,000 back.
right. And I'm sure some people will love it and they'll use it. I've seen some articles that are saying kind of what I would imagine if, like you said, I don't know what Brad's take is on it either. Um, Probably loves it. For people that really, I mean, you've got a legit processor in there. You can do everything, and so like everything that the Quest 3 was holding back on because it can only do so much, or even the Quest Pro, it's not. But I don't care about any of
Yeah.
that. I don't care about the battery, and I would imagine even hooking it up for PCVR. it would still drain the battery as well. Probably, I don't know. So,
Well, so I imagine for people like Brad and people like Todd, this thing's great because those are guys that legitimately already liked working in VR. Like Todd goes into his Quest Pro to work. You know what I mean? So for someone like that, you're going to love this thing because it's going to be so much more capable and a higher quality experience. But for someone like me, um, I'm just not that interested in it anymore until I read something like this and it says that they're already working on SteamVR support for it and that eventually not only will you be able to stream SteamVR games into it, but use your controllers somehow as well. I don't know how that they're going to manage to pull that off. Um, but who knows? 2 years from now, if this thing can play SteamVR and track controllers, and the price is say half of what it is today, um, I might be looking at picking one of these up. Just not
well,
today.
well, in 2 years, you'll have probably at least one generation, it'll probably be on the next generation, so it'll be cheaper. And I'd be
Yeah,
shocked if you didn't have a Samsung counterpart. Like everything that's happened with phones is going to happen with these. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
let's not get sidetracked with Windows mixed reality and some of the weird stuff that in VR where they failed. I think this is going to be different. This isn't, at least from what Apple's perspective is, this isn't a gaming thing. This is what everybody uses on a daily basis. This is your media, your computer, your phone, everything. And so I would be shocked if I'm not probably using a Samsung version of it. I don't want to use Apple's crap. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people love Apple. I just don't like their iOS. I don't like their business practice. Their iPhone 14. How much does that thing cost, Wes?
Too much. Too
Okay.
much for me to care to find out how much
I
it
just
costs.
just saw a video the other day where somebody was breaking down that it costs $10 to make in China. You tell me how that happens. So, and I'm not naive. I know everybody's doing that crap, but that kind of stuff pisses me off. And so, like, I don't like Apple as a company. I'm glad that they're doing this headset and it's pushing things forward. In this article in general, there's going to be a lot of Apple people that now can come into VR, and so there'll be that cross. So I think it is good. I don't really
Tell
care.
you what, there is one thing that I am excited about. Whether we're talking about Apple Vision Pro headset or we're talking about iPhone 15, this should mean a legitimate resurgence for 3D video
Yes.
because now everyone has a 3D camera in their pocket now. And while I'm sure at first it's all going to be proprietary format for Apple, but I think there's already solutions available for you to watch those videos on Quest. And I think that's great because I'm a big proponent for 3D video. And if we can get mainstream kind of, recording the amazing places and events that they're seeing on a day to day basis, it's just going to be all the more interesting for enthusiasts such as myself. So
Let me ask you this. I
that's
saw
pretty cool.
an article and they were saying something exactly what you just said with the Quest 3, that they've got stuff coming across where you could play it, right? You can play these videos. But like that's got the chip that's in that headset. Like the Quest 3 is so limited when it comes to playing back those videos compared to the Apple Vision Pro. I guarantee there's going to be videos on there or in there that you can't you won't be able to use it unless you're using your PC, because there just won't be enough processing power to, either that or it'll be so laggy, because everything's got to be streamed, right, at a certain speed. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, because I don't feel like the video for the Quest 2 or 3 is quite there when it's talking at the very high end videos, right? So
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't tried to download a video onto my Quest 3 yet and watch it back. So I'm not sure.
well, if you download it,
Um,
it'd be fine. I'm just talking about
right.
streaming and the processing power and everything that's going on. They're too
There's
comparable.
there's stories on the cutting room floor today. One that spells out how you can watch these Apple Vision Pro videos on your Quest. Another one that spells out how you can sideload videos from a USB drive into the Quest and watch them. So if that's the case, that makes things a lot easier, doesn't it? You can put a little thumb drive on there, and you don't have to worry about streaming anymore.
Absolutely.
And that should mean super clean video.
How cool would it be if they actually gave you a drive, like a micro SD slot or
Yeah,
two
no,
to actually store shit? That'd be cool. Even if it was just for stuff like this, for media only, right? It'd be cool.
it'd be incredible. Anyways, we put a poll up in chat and asked people, do you care about Apple Vision Pro? And as of right now, it is 60% no and 40% yes. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. How good could these content creators actually be doing on their video when 60% of their audience really just don't even care?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the reality too. You're at least in this niche. It's not that people aren't interested in it, but there's so many bigger channels that put out tech for everything that are covering this thing. So everybody that you would hope that's not in VR that would be drawn in, they're never going to see their videos, just like they never see any of their other videos, right? So like you're kind of showing this product to the VR crowd, and are they interested? And apparently, 60% says no. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool. I really could care less, or couldn't care less. I'm more interested in a PC VR headset that's doesn't have a battery in it. I don't want any battery, zero battery for anything.
I think you're going to be disappointed, Roots. I don't know if we're ever going to have another one of those ever.
Probably not. I don't know. Like I would settle for just disabling the battery for the most part. Whenever it hooks up to power that exceeds the battery power, it just says, we don't need you. We're actually gonna fucking charge. I don't. It's just such a weird thing to still be limited by the power thing. I was playing the other night, and what was I playing? Been playing a lot of the Unreal Engine VR mod, and I was streaming. And, it was Aliens, I think, and all of a sudden my headset just went dead, and because it, and I'm hooked up. That should never happen. So it's just very frustrating.
Yeah, that's weird. It is a weird thing. I gotta have faith that Valve's solution, whatever it turns out to be, won't be so unreliable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Gary says he'd rather have the battery and no cable personally, to each their own. And I'm not knocking the not having a cable. I'm just thinking, why do I have to be tethered to the battery when I'm using the cable? Like, why can't it bypass it and not use I just don't understand what technology that they're doing. I 100% believe Valve will solve it, because Valve solves things. Meta just seems to do, I don't want to say just enough, because their stuff is amazing, but it's like the little things that bug the fuck out of you. It's like they don't care. It's like, having a streaming app, being able to stream to Twitch or YouTube natively. Don't worry about it. We don't care about people covering our games. It's just very bizarre.
How bizarre. How bizarre. Well, it is a bizarre day. My team is in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. So let's get this show underway the way we always do by saying hello to our friends in chat. Gary, what's up, Gary? Immersed Robot is here. Hussein X is here. Oh, there's Eric. What's up, Eric? He says, I've been playing Steam in my Apple Vision Pro, Callisto Protocol, and Pal World on a 200-inch screen, sitting on a couch in my living room with the most amazing lenses I've ever seen. So he's been enjoying his flat gaming experience inside VR.
How weird is that, though? Because people will knock the real screen in front of me that's OLED, that's 240 hertz, but then because you're in the headset, looking at a screen is okay. I don't care how big it is.
Well, to be fair, I mean, Eric does dabble in the flat gaming a little bit anyway, as it is. So
I'm not I'm
For
not knocking
him,
him and personally, but everybody has this stance. It's like if you're when it's an emulator or whatever, are you still looking at a screen, bro? You know what I mean? Like either you want it immersive or you don't. I for one love flat gaming, just like I love VR. So I completely understand why that would be awesome. But I don't know. It's weird.
Matty Fat Bat Cat, what up? Je ne sais quoi, what's up? Time to play VR. Bad Robo, hello, hello. What's up, Tatum? J Devil, how not to play? Grandpa Barbecuer Game Cat, what's up? Zippies, No Man's Game Cat, what up? Staff and Stuff here. Your Long Shadows is here. Looper is here. VR Spry Guy's here on his birthday, nonetheless. What's up, Spry Guy? Happy birthday. Mepper's here. Says, congrats on 4K. We actually finally did it, Roots.
We did.
Finally hit 4K.
I know. I saw that. We just barely went by. It was like 20 past it. So
yeah, it was funny, man. It took us like that. Those last 2 or 3 took forever. It seemed like nobody wanted to subscribe to get us over the mark. And then all of a sudden, as soon as we hit it, it just started ticking right up again like it did all last year. But so, yeah, thanks to everyone who subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, shame on you. Why are you not subscribed, bro? I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
Come on,
man. Old Darth is here. Brandon VR is here. What's up? DLG27 is here. Midlife Kid here as well. Typical Kiwi. Chinatown D. Radio Runt's here. Radio Runt playing some Galaxy Kart on his PSVR 2 earlier today. Roots, and even though he was playing single player, he saw how awesome it was. And I told him that he needs to play with us because it's more fun with friends, right?
It's absolutely more fun with a bunch of friends.
So we need to organize that, get in there and check it out together.
Absolutely.
Duggars K is here. Who else? Gabriel 004 is here. Jamie Rex. What up? What up? Quadzilla. What's up, Mickey Barrios? Who else? AppJ's here. Aceville. What up? Scrolling. Killer Sam is here. Scrolling. Quadzilla's here.
He said he played with the wheel and it works great.
Yeah, it does. And you can play with both the wheel and the controllers at the same time. That's the coolest thing. What's up, Flame Hat, the Game Cat? What's up, Space Denison? What's up, Not Sure Brondo? What's up, Roy Schwartz? Roy Schwartz, tag me on Discord, please. Tag me at some point on Discord so that I can see you.
Do you know if Galaxy Kart is crossplay? Sorry.
I'm not 100% sure about that, actually. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, but I don't know that. Anyway, tag me up, Roy. I have something to discuss with you. Who else is here? Hooked Worm, the Hoosier Game Cat's here. Scott, the PSVR Game Cat for Life is here. Herb, the 24/7 Game Cat is here. Salvador is here. Truth Prophecy 22 is here.
I know you're getting
Pant.
towards the top because I was up there.
Pant is here. Just one, Root. Not pants. Pant.
Just the one pant. Okay.
Just the one pant. Who else is here? Anybody else? Fargosoft is here. Sim is here. Rattlehead's here. Q Creator here as well. Prophecy 777 is here.
We had a couple slippies. Techno Glitch slipped in there.
What's up, Tech?
Mickey Bear too. I guess did you say hi to Mickey? He slipped through a key down.
I did. I did say hello to Mickey. Jade the Foviator Inner Game Cat's here. By the way, shout out to Jay the Foveated Rendered Game Cat, as well as Mad Vegan, the two newest patrons in the Virtual Strangers Army. Thank you for the support.
So we lose one and
rock.
we gain two, right?
That's right. We lost one, we gained two. That's exactly
awesome.
Right.
Awesome Tatum says the Steam page says it is cross-platform multiplayer.
Sweet. All right, that's as far up as I can go. If I missed you, I apologize, but you're right. We do have some slippies down here, like Gustavo Barandas. Hola, Gustavo. Flippy Nuggets, Wu Vane, XX Silver XX is here. Diz the Game Cat, Arcanian. I think that might be all the slippies.
I do want to address something. I see in the chat that Spry says Tech was first, and said Tech says, yeah, I was first. I saw Paradise Decay on my screen as first. Paradise Decay is always first. So I don't care what you guys saw, Tech.
Shout out to PD, but I was watching the page as soon as it went up, and Technoglitch was in there within like 2 minutes, and Ready Runt was in there with like 3. So like they were quick.
I know, but then Paradise Decay came in and said, hey, I was here, and it wouldn't let me. There was an error or something. So I'm just throwing it to PD because I believe him. He was really there. So
Kramer is here as well. He slipped in. Good to see you, as did Neck Minute. What up? Good to see you. Yeah, so I think that's everyone. If I missed you, I do apologize. Please forgive me. Hello, welcome one and all. MCAN, there's another one. What's up? Galaxy Car on Quest. Is Galaxy Car on Quest?
I don't think so. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if they're. I guess they should go to it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. If they like selling games, they should go to it.
Yeah.
But no, Galaxy Cart's not on Quest, I don't think. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back to Virtual Strangers 2024. Let's kick this year off right, Roots, and let's talk a little VR.
Terrain.
All right, Agent. Time for Plan B. Should be simple. Get in, get the intel, and get the hell out. How hard could it be?
Did you guys hear that? I didn't hear it. No, I heard it. I didn't hear anything.
At least you'll be well equipped.
Narrative espionage thriller Heartshot reaches PCVR soon. This from Henry Stockdale at Upload VR. Heartshot, a PCVR narrative espionage thriller, will reach Steam Early Access soon. Developed by a 2-person team at Meadow Studios, Heartshot describes itself as a story-driven espionage thriller where fast, chaotic gunplay meets retro-inspired cinematic environments. Playing as an agent tasked with dismantling a global criminal empire, your investigation brings you to a remote Siberian base now controlled by Marko Sukovich. Exploring a mysterious subterranean complex, Heartshot promises a wide variety of weapons and attachments for quick loadout customization. You're also armed with high-tech magnet gloves as a multi-tool device, which lets you retrieve weapons and ammo and manipulate machinery across your environment. In a detailed Steam FAQ, Meadow Studios plans to release Heartshot's campaign across 3 chapters. Though the initial early access release only includes Chapter 1, and a jungle-themed arena mode. Chapter 2 is planned as a free update sometime in 2024, while Chapter 3 will coincide with the full release. Heartshot reaches Steam Early Access on February 29, 2024. You know when I knew that we'd been gone too long from doing these shows, Roots? Is when we were shooting the 2023 show segments, and Gamertag VR brought this game up, and I had no idea what he was talking about. And then I got on Steam and I saw how awesome it looked, and I saw just how soon it was about to launch. And then, like, the very next day, my boy Antone Jones from Escape Portal was tagging me up, telling me about this game before we even aired our segment on it. It was then that I knew that I'm getting a little too out of touch, and it's time for us to come back, because this looks pretty great, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And this wasn't the only game. There's several games that I had that experience with. But yeah, what you say is true. GT was bringing it up, and we both were like, I don't know what you're talking about. We brought up we brought up the trailer and watched it in real time for the first time, right? And we were like, oh my God, this looks really good. So yeah, it's actually, one thing I'm kind of curious about, the wording of this. Does this not sound like Chapter 3 is going to cost money? And maybe they just didn't put in the free update for all three, or for the third as well. But, they say that it will coincide with the full release. That doesn't say anything about whether it'll be free or not. And I would imagine it is, but I mean, I don't know.
What we typically see in situations like this, and it's just as likely to happen as not, is when the game finally does hit full release, the price will increase from whatever it was to what it's going to be. So we might see this thing launch on Steam next week for like $20, which will entitle us to get the second chapter while it's still in early access. But when it goes to full release and gets the rest of the story content, you might see it jump up to like $25 or even $30, which is fair, I think. You're going to put it out in early access, make it cheap,
Yeah, give them a little bit of discount for helping fund the rest of the game, right? Yeah, I agree. Somebody in the chat was saying that they tried a lot of cool things in the Steam Next Fest. And I don't know if you saw, Wes, and this isn't VR, and I guess maybe it will be, which is kind of cool, but Pocket Pair, I think this is that name of the company that did Pal World, right? They're working on another game, and it looks like Dead Cells, but mixed with a bunch of other games. But it looks really fucking cool. And I think we have a theme with this developer, right? They're taking different genres and mashing them together. And it made me think, are we going to start seeing more of this? Because I like Pal World. I like the mashing. If you do it right, it may be an early access, and it may not be everybody's type of game. It's not even my type of game, but the gameplay is so satisfying and fun that it works, So I just thought it was kind of interesting that they've got another game that is going to be potentially called a ripoff, even though I think Pal World does Pokemon better than Pokemon. I know it's controversial. A lot of what they're doing is so unique and different that it's cool.
Galaxy Car is on App Lab, actually. Thank you, Eddie, for pointing that out.
Yeah, so we can play it.
Yep. So yeah, no, what you're saying is true, and you know what? These Next Fest are a lot more interesting now, because any of these demos that run in Unreal Engine, you can hook them with the injector mod now and play them day one in VR. So yeah, you keep that in mind as you scroll through this year's Next Fest. Is you don't have to be limited to the VR section anymore. Like, it's all fair game now, which is really cool.
And a lot of the VR stuff was kind of, I mean, even these ones, and I was thinking about what I said on Crewcast a few weeks ago, and I guess it was kind of unfair to developers. I as far as saying that a lot of games shouldn't be on the store. I think Alex is right. I think there's room for everybody. It's the cost, because I was looking through Steam recently, and I was looking at a lot of indie games that are, they're okay or whatever, but they're like $2 or $3. And so I granted, I understand that there's a bigger audience to appeal to, but when a lot of these games, that's the problem. It's not even that their game, maybe the game is okay or mediocre in my mind, but $30, $40, no,
Yeah,
man,
right.
$20 sometimes, not even $20, I mean, if they were just realistic and make it $5, people might fucking snatch it up. And then you sell shitloads. I don't know. I think there's got to be something that changes, because there is room for everybody, but there's not room for everybody at the price that they want. So,
What's up, Guido? Guido joining us in chat. Good to see you,
what's up,
friend.
Guido?
Yeah, but anyway, Heartshot. What I'm really curious about with this game, Roots, is what's it going to look like in a headset? Because sometimes I'll see a screenshot or a little bit of video, and it looks gorgeous, like absolutely beautiful. And then I'll see another shot, and then you can start to really see that retro inspired shining through, and it gets a little blocky. And I'm wondering if this is going to be like somewhere in between the retro and modern, or if it's going to really fall heavily on one end of the spectrum or the other.
Hmm.
I can't tell from the early screenshots.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, really, as long as it has the gameplay is fun and fleshed out, I think it could get away with either or right in the middle. So
Yeah, I think the gameplay. You're right. It's going to be what makes or breaks it, of course. But uh, I think it's going to be okay on that front because it's a story driven shooter, and it's hard to mess those up, right? Unless you just really mess it up. A good story driven shooter is a good story driven shooter.
Yep, absolutely. And Mepper says I need to get a better graphics card for the UEVR and a better CPU for modern AAA games. And now rewind a year and to Root saying he's not getting the Quest 3, and everyone's like, what? And it was like, my mind was like, I wanted this time to be special, and it is. That's I've been playing so much UEVR mod on so many different games, and one of them, I was gonna bring this up to you recently in our chat, and I forgot, but I saw Looper recently, and I don't know if it was in one of the comments or something, but he was saying he would really love a mod of the month. And I was thinking, man, with all the amazing mods, maybe somehow we could incorporate that into game of the month as well. Because like I played Weird West the other day, Wes, and I was streamed it, and I was thinking Wes needs to play this fucking game. It's like so cool and different, and it just is so unique that I think, and it's a shooter, but it's different than anything I've ever seen, and it's just really cool. And so it would be a reason to get into those type of mods, So
Yeah, yeah. I've been thinking a lot about how we can manage this and pull it off. Because on the one hand, um, the mods are going to be so much of what we want to play this year. But if you do it like mod of the month, then you're kind of restricting it to games that came out that month, and we've got such a big catalog with them now
that's true.
that we wouldn't be able to do it. The other thing is what happens to game of the month now? Like if we're not playing the majority of the VR releases that come out, then we can't do game of the month. And I really don't want to walk away from game of the month because everyone loves it so much. So I've been thinking of, trying to come up with a potential solution to this, of how we continue on with game of the month with maybe not playing all the games. Maybe leaning on people's votes more than just picking them. That way we can free up a little bit of our time to play mods, and we can have mod of the week without doing mod of the month. You know what I mean? We can play at least a couple of these mods every month just to cover them on a Friday. It doesn't have to be part of the game of the month thing.
That's true.
But it's definitely going to be a bigger part of what we cover this year, because it's going to be a bigger part of VR from this point on. So how that actually is going to look in our week to week coverage, I don't know yet. But I do know that there isn't a whole lot that I want to play more than these mods. So we're gonna see how it works out over time. probably try a few different things before we settle on a format.
See what sticks.
Yeah, the mods are definitely going to be part of it. Whatever, however it ends up shaking out. Game of the month is going to stay, and we're going to cover mods. How that happens, we'll see. Anyways, let's move along. Some other cool new footage for an upcoming VR game just dropped.
Stay calm. Look sharp. Keep silent. Slower. Gently.
In Silent Slayer, you take on the role of a vampire hunter, infiltrating a castle filled with evil vampires. Your goal is to carefully disarm the traps so you can slay them in their sleep.
When players first play in Silent Slayer, they will find themselves in a gloomy, creepy, and evil, but also incredibly gorgeous place called the Castle Czar.
There are empty libraries, there are haunted hallways.
These vampires wrote and engraved their magic spells in vampiric alphabets all over the castle and also on most of their defensive traps. So, a coffin for the vampire, they can really tell the status and aesthetic preferences of whoever sleeps in there.
Silent Slayer is a game of you directly in front of a vampire. Thanks to the immersion of being in VR, you are alone in the castle, and it's just you and a vampire who might eat you.
Imagine a creature with bloody red eyes and sharp teeth jumping out of the darkness to attack you.
The key aspects of the experience of Silent Slayer are discovery, tension, and overcoming obstacles.
Players will face a variety of traps, so you need to be precise and quiet, and any wrong move and you might regret it.
So at first you may see some tripwires, and you'll have to learn to carefully position your snips to get through those wires.
While disarming traps, sound is used to warn a player to tell them how well they're doing. The watchful idol is a doll that watches the player, and if the player moves, the doll will start to scream just to tell the player, you messed up.
Stop moving.
Each chapter of Silent Slayer is broken into two halves. The first half is time with the book preparing for the coffin ahead.
First, there are also bind stones that the player must assemble, kind of like a big 3D jigsaw puzzle. Certain traps require the use of certain tools, so the player really needs to understand which tool goes to which trap.
In order to get to the vampire, the player must first find their heart. There is a tool that we refer to as the heart tool that players use to locate a vampire's heart wherever it may be in their chest. Then they perform the binding ritual to unlock the last magical barrier of defense that's keeping them from killing this vampire, and also bind that vampire in place. And so we want players to feel scared, we want them to feel the tension of those moments, but ultimately we want them to feel accomplished when they finally succeed in their goal and slay the vampires of the castle.
Silent Slayer trailer shows off spooky vampires and my browser just hold on just a second. Spooky vampires, temperamental traps, and more. This is from Scott Hayden at Road to VR. During Rough Talk VR 2024 showcase today, By the way, since when does Rough Talk do showcases?
I've never heard of it. But
Never mind. Anyway, Shell Games revealed an extended gameplay trailer for its upcoming VR puzzle, Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire, showing off more of the vampire ganking action that pits you against a host of temperamental traps. Shell Games, also known for its hit spy puzzle VR series I Expect You to Die, explains a little more about what makes the game tick in the new gameplay trailer, which features developer commentary. In short, it's all about precision, tension, and the danger of a slumbering vampire being awakened at any moment. Set in a spooky mansion, the developers explain that each chapter of the game is broken into two halves: preparation and execution. At first, you'll need to take time preparing to deal with the vampire by consulting the book and assembling an increasingly complex binding stone puzzle. You'll need to figure out how to take down each vampire by using various tools and eventually finding its heart and performing a binding ritual to unlock the last magical barrier of defense that keeps the vampire safe from your inevitable stake. But you'll have to keep quiet as you play what feels like a decidedly spookified version of Operation. Fast movements or loud noises will wake the vampire, leading to what promises to be a pretty nasty jump scare. Silent Slayer Vault of the Vampire set to launch on Quest 2 and 3 and Pro this year. While we're waiting for a precise release date, you can wishlist the game on the Quest store. So, Roots, in spite of people roasting this game in the chat as we were watching through the new trailer, I think this is an interesting concept for a VR game, an interesting way for people who are known for doing puzzles like Shell Games to get a little darker, right? A little more spooky, a little more scary with it. And even if it does look like Vampire Operation, who doesn't love Operation, Roots? What the fuck?
yeah, Operation in VR, if it's done well, this is the thing. There's a lot of games that we've seen at first glance, whether it be, a shooter campaign based on a kayak, or like there's some unique things that you at first glance you think this could never work. Like, I don't know what the hell this is. But I think this could be good if it's done well. We know Shell Games puts out good games, going by their other stuff. So I'm at least interested to check it out and see. But it does look like a really cool vampire version of Operation. So.
Yeah. So it's all going to depend. This game is going to live and die on their ability to build tension while you're in the preparation phase and you start into kind of the operation phase. That jump scare, it needs to be legit, right? Like you got to want to not fail. I think if they can manage to make the fail state properly scare people, then it's going to build tension during the operation phase, and this is going to be fun to play. It's going to make your heart race even when nothing's happening. But that's pretty important that they're able to do that. I think it is a bit of a pity that this is a primarily a Quest 2 game, and it's not like completely photoreal, because I feel like this very same gameplay concept with photoreal art and really scary looking vampires, it could really go a lot farther to making this something that's worthwhile. So only time will tell whether or not this is able to achieve what it's trying to do here. But I don't think that the concept itself is bad inherently, and I don't know. I'm interested in it. I want to try it out. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it looks pretty cool as well. And we're not getting on anybody in the chat for feeling this way. I mean, part of me wants to laugh too. I'm just going by what Shell Games has done in the past. and I'm saying that it could be good. It could be really not good. You know, like it's one of those games that you look at. I can't tell. I couldn't tell until I actually played it whether it's going to be a good game or not. So, and then J Devil in the chat is asking if that means if Wes just said that you're not going to play regular VR games anymore because you're playing mods only. And I said no.
No, I didn't say that.
No. And then he alluded that he said that you said that you're not going to play any shitty VR games. You're kind of alluded to that, only the good ones. And that we have both said that's our goal. Like, who wants to play shitty games? There's enough channels out there covering the shit. I don't want to play it. Like, I'm trying. If I look at something long enough and there's enough of a commotion about how shitty a game is, I'm just like a flat game. I don't want to play it. Like, I don't want to waste my time, and I don't feel like I have to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time. So, at least for me personally, I'll leave the shitty games to other channels. They can tell you it's shitty, and then we'll tell you which ones are good.
Absolutely. My other big concern with this is that it could be good for a minute and then get old really quick. You know what I mean? It could be fun the first time or the second time, but it could get repetitive and then boring after that. That was kind of like Among Us for me. It was like it was fun for a little while, and then it got a little repetitive and boring for me.
Right.
Even though it is still, cool to hang out with your friends and stuff, and it has had new updates, and I haven't went in and checked out the new updates yet, but yeah, I'm feeling like something similar could happen here with this one, where it's okay for a first playthrough, but then maybe not so much after.
Yeah. Only time will tell, and I would suggest if anybody is curious and they're not sure, just wait. If people just are patient, there's going to be enough people that review it or talk about it or play it, and you can see if it's actually good or not. Nobody needs to get burned, and I guess this isn't even on PlayStation, so with the refunds nobody should get burned, because just standard 2 hours and get your money back if it sucks.
Speaking of which, somebody there recently was some shovelware that came out on PlayStation, a couple of different games from the same company on PSVR 2. There was a game called Run or Die, and then there was a game, what was the other one called? It was some other shitty rip-off game that run terribly, and the idea was a complete rip-off of another game. And somebody I know put in for a refund and actually got the refund. And not only did he actually get the refund for both games, but Sony delisted these fucking games.
Wow.
And now no one can buy them.
That's pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like Sony's in a lot of ways is kind of changing. Like, even just the fact that they're released started a couple years ago, but been releasing more and more on PC. And I kind of feel like they're planning on doing more and more like live PC releases, like they did with what is it, that new flat game, that co-op shooter that Helltides 2, or is that what it's called? Everybody's
Helldivers.
Yeah, Helldivers 2. Yeah. So I think it's going to start to becoming more a thing, and so they're going to probably have to start doing what they, you know what I mean? They can't do it on one and not on the other. So they may just start doing refunds, which would be awesome for everybody, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's about time, right? Like that's the one thing that really protects these half-assed developers on Sony's platform, is that they don't have to worry about that refund policy. So it would be great if they were to update that.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're right. I don't want to play shitty games. I'm not going to play shitty games. But you know what? I might go back and play some more of Genotype.
You must be able to defend yourself.
Defend myself? Against what?
Genotype gets overhauled with new combat update on Quest. This from Henry Stockdale, once again from Upload VR. Genotype relaunches the VR Metroidvania inspired adventure today with overhauled combat on Quest. Released last October, Genotype is a narrative first-person shooter action game set in an Antarctic research base overrun by dangerous monsters. Detailed in a press release, this introduces 5 new radically different weaponized creatures, a new upgrade system for your gray gloves, refined combat spaces, additional enemies, environmental visual updates, and more. Introducing new content and mechanics keeps things interesting and dynamic throughout the game, said CTO Lasse Tassing, in a prepared statement. Players will see the biggest difference in the mid and late game combat situations. Early review feedback suggested that combat could sometimes become repetitive, and that is definitely not the case anymore. The combat update marks Genotype's 5th update since launch, and developer Bulwark Games previously added difficulty settings, additional exploration, and lore. November also introduced Quest 3 updates, like a visual boost that matches the resolution in PSVR, 4K light maps, and more. Genotype is out now on the MetaQuest platform with a 40% discount to celebrate the combat update. It's also launching soon on Rift, Steam, and PSVR 2. Dude, these guys are just killing it, man. Like, this game was great from the get-go, and they have done nothing but work tirelessly to make it better as they continue to ramp up toward their PC and PlayStation launch, which is actually coming pretty soon.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to play it on Steam. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if I can wait, Wes. I've seen people talk about it in the chat, and I really like this game, and I've been kind of waiting to play it on Steam because I want to play everything on my PC if I can. But yeah, I think Quest version is amazing already, and this combat update is going to add a lot. Now, I am kind of curious. I saw Awesome Tatum saying, he said, oh, good. He said, oh, good. The combat was his main complaint about genotypes. I'd be curious to know what his complaint was, just because it does sound like they're changing a lot and updating it. So,
yeah, I would be curious to know that too. I mean, I guess technically it is repetitive. I mean, it's a corridor shooter. It's as repetitive as corridor shooters typically are. Still fun though. The variety in weapons and the kind of customization of your weapons, I think, is what really makes the combat fun. But having new enemies to fight shouldn't take away from that at all. It should make it even better.
Absolutely. Well, and my takeaway is the game was already good, so it's just going to be better.
Yeah, and you know, while I'm perfectly fine playing this on my Quest 3, it looks great. I might just wait and play through it again on one of the other platforms because I kind of want to start over now that they've done so much to the game and upgraded it so much. I kind of want to just start at the beginning again now. I played deep into it, but I didn't finish it. So I might just start over, start a new campaign on Steam or on PlayStation or something.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, Zippy's No Man's Game Cat said, just played an hour or so of Genotype. It feels solid and good, just what is up with the sound effects. Feels like it's missing or way too little. I don't know. I didn't notice that. I saw another Genotype comment, but I lost it, so I guess we won't read. Oh, here's one from Space Nisten. The enemy respawns were too frequent, and ever being forced to use the grubber was not fun. I didn't feel like that, man. Like I didn't use the grubber all that much. I'm guessing that Space Denizen must have not found as much ammo lying around as I did. Like Eric loves using that grubber thing. I thought I didn't really like the range on it. Like the range is too short, and if you're fighting like those smaller enemies that jump around, they seem to always kind of dodge it and get at you. Even if you hit them with it, they still hit you back. But the good news is I didn't have to use it very often. So I'm assuming that Space Denizen just didn't take the time to find out all the ammo like I did. Like I'm a very patient man.
Yeah, but I was gonna say too, you got to think of it this way. At least this would be my perspective. If it was me and you talking about me playing versus you, I'm gonna be a lot more loose with my ammo, because I have to be. Like I'm not as good of a shot, and so like I would think, fuck man, there's just not enough ammo. Whereas you, because your shots, you make your bullets count. You probably run. I mean, if there's ever a game where Wes is saying, "Man, there's not enough ammo," the devs need to really listen, because that means there's something wrong with the game. So I would imagine it's probably a combination between both. That you probably are just really good with conserving your ammo and using it when you need to, as well.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, there were times that ammo got low and I had to be more conservative with it. But I use that as a learning experience. And the next time I found my way to a station where I could craft ammo, I made sure to craft enough. You know what I mean? I made sure I took extra with me. And then if you properly upgrade your guns or your weapons correctly, they become stronger, and then you don't need as much ammo. Anyways, it was a fun game, and kind of the upgrading and crafting is a lot of what made it so fun. So,
it's part of what devs need to do with making like the gameplay loop fun. Like if things are constantly upgrading and changing, like it there's a dopamine. I mean, honestly, I feel like, and I don't know shit about video games, but I feel like a lot of devs, they need to like go to a class on like 101 of how to hold people in your game, right? Because it's like, I said this in the Discord the other day, VR is not magic. If it doesn't hold people's attention, like the really good games, flat or VR, like from the very beginning, they've got your attention. And they're holding it from the beginning. You just don't have to wait 3 hours to get into it. There's stuff going on. You're upgrading stuff. It's you really having fun. That's why Power World is so fun. From the very beginning, you're leveling on everything. And so, like, I feel like there's a disconnect on how to keep people interested in your game long term. Now, I'm not saying that about Genotype. I think their game is fantastic. But a lot of games out there are not in this boat. So,
Dienstman75. Have y'all tried Vampire Justice on PSVR? The images on the Steam page suggest a graphics upgrade over other platforms. I have not tried it yet. I think we might cover this one. Vampire the Masquerade Justice just launched on Steam last week. I can say that there was definitely a graphics upgrade on PlayStation over the Quest version, but I'm not sure if the Steam version is identical to the PlayStation or if it has had further upgrades. I cannot say. But I really like that game. I think we all did, and we might actually check it out this week. So stay tuned. All right. Anyway, one more headline to check in on before we get to our weekly reminders. And this one was a little bit unexpected, yet pretty freaking cool. Yupitergrad 2, The Lost Station's PSVR 2 debut announced with new gameplay trailer. Just from mixednews.com. Yupitergrad 2, The Lost Station will be released in a PSVR 2 version in 2024. The colorful comic-style sci-fi VR shooter is currently available on platforms, including SteamVR, Quest 3, Quest 2, Quest Pro, and Pico 4. According to developer Game Dust, more details on the release of the PSVR 2 version will be revealed in future announcements. There is no exact release date yet. Is that the whole article? That's the whole article.
That's it.
All
But
right.
I'll tell you what.
Well, there you go.
I'll tell you what. I was excited to see this because the game's not out yet, and it's actually being talked about. When the first one, or the last time it came out, we heard about it, and it had been released. Right? It was like, fuck, man.
Right.
So I'm glad that this is actually getting a little bit of headway. That's one of the biggest issues I think with independent game makers. Right? They don't. Some of them aren't. They're not as savvy, or maybe they don't have the money to really push their game, right? So,
yeah. And what a great game. The 2023 show Platformer of the Year, Yupitergrad 2, beating out stiff competition like Outta Hand and a couple of other really good games. Yupitergrad 2 is awesome. We were fans of the original Yupitergrad, but it doesn't really even hold a candle to the sequel. 2 is so much better. The world is so much bigger. The gameplay loop is so much more complex now. The story's better. I mean, everything's better about the sequel over the first one, in our opinion. So I'm happy. I'm happy for the PSVR 2 community because they've got another solid title coming to their library, even if it is another indie port. It's a good one, and people should be happy about that.
yeah. No, some of my favorite games, flat and VR, are indie. You know, indie doesn't mean crap to me. Indie means less, either less people, less money, whatever. But some of the best games I've played this year were independent games. So,
Rogue TR joining says, "I see I'm late." Yeah, unfortunately, but that's all good. You can rewind it back.
you're right on time.
You're right on time. That's right. As is Escape Portal. What's up, Antone Jones? Good to see you, friend. Hello. But no, I'm looking forward to checking out Yupitergrad 2. Also, want to point out that while we're at it, that we're getting dangerously close to the release of Swarm 2 Roots. That's coming out in just a few weeks.
That's crazy. I know Alien Care is
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. I want to know how much it's different or the same, how much they make it cooler. I thought the first one was so cool, and I think this one's going to be even better.
I think that you're right. I think that you're absolutely right, and we'll talk more about that after the show. Anyway, that's our headlines for the week, ladies and gentlemen. We only did 4 headlines this week because we're trying to do a bit of an abbreviated show, but if you patrons out there want to get fully caught up on the week's news, you know what to do. Check out the weekly show notes, scroll to the bottom to the cutting room floor, and there's just dozens and dozens and dozens of articles down there for you to let you know about every little crappy App Lab game that you can think of, and the good ones too. It's all there.
And good articles on hardware and things going on in the metaverse, the weirdness of Ubisoft. Like, I don't understand what the hell they're doing, man. Have you looked at their ship game, their flat game, Skull and Bones, that they say they're charging $70, and they're saying it's because it's a quadruple.
It's 4A.
It's
4A.
quadruple, and it looks like dog shit, Wes. I've watched it. Compared to Sea of Thieves, there's cutscene, like, and no animation, or when you land, you can't like get out of the boat. Like, it's just not going to be a good game. I predict it's not going to do that well. And then at the same time, they're bitching about Assassin's Creed Nexus not making enough money, but then they're also saying Assassin's Creed, the one that they released, it did so well, the full fleshed out version, the full game, that's their direction they're going to take now. Like this is Ubisoft, they said, okay, but then they're saying that their partial Assassin's Creed didn't do well enough to stay in VR. I submit it's because the game is not exactly what Assassin's Creed fans want. And so who are you appealing to? So I think Ubisoft is so off base. I think they're going to find out in a couple weeks that their game is going to fall very flat. And then I'm excited to see the articles on it because I am starting to not like Ubisoft at all.
I didn't read into that article too deeply because that story. I mean, because I've seen it reported different ways. Some people were reporting it as, Ubisoft is like totally disappointed in the performance of Assassin's Creed Nexus, so they're not going to do any more VR. But then I've seen other people report it as they didn't do quite as well as they had hoped, so they're not going to invest like heavier into VR. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to keep making VR games. It just means that they're not ready to take the next step with VR. So I don't know which one is true. I haven't read into it myself, but I've seen plenty of both sides of that take on that story. So
I just think that they're already making weird choices with their big flat games, and like the Skull and Bones that this is like the third time they've tried to release it. And
I saw a before and after of that Skull and Bones game. And the before was their demo, and the after was the launch version or the release version or whatever, the current build, and it looks so much worse now. like the demo looked great.
yeah,
but apparently they're not on that same build anymore.
it's just weird. We'll see. We'll see how. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just watched enough gameplay of somebody streaming it yesterday for like a half an hour just to see what the game is like, because I love Sea of Thieves. And I thought, wow, I would never play this. Like as a ship sailing game, I want to get off the boat. I want to board other people's boats. And Sea of Thieves is like, it's like World of Warcraft for a long time. All these MMOs would come out and they would all fall flat on their face because it was so good that nobody thought outside the box. And I feel like this game is not thinking outside the box. But anyway, that's enough of that. We got to get to some games, right? Some free games.
Let's give out some keys, bro, because we gave out the first half the last time we were on the air, but we've got the other half here. Winners have been drawn. We organize the giveaway list into individual games. We went through and siphoned off all the entrants for each individual game from the comments, gave everyone a number, consulted random.org to see who the winners were. And, Roots, I posted the winners in the Patreon notes earlier today. I forgot to hide them, so the patrons already know who won.
I know. What's funny is I actually thought about that and didn't say anything, but I just figured you probably wouldn't. But I was thinking, what if Wes posted this with all the winners on there? And how crazy, right?
I did. That's what I did. I meant to hide it, and then I forgot to hide it because I was so freaking tired when I got done doing the notes. I completely missed it. And as soon as I posted it, somebody pinged me to claim their game, and I started looking through my paper notes from the 2023 show and realized they didn't win during
I'm seeing in the chat some people are saying they were confused. They said Oprah's back, and they were confused in the last giveaways. What the little behind the scenes, Oprah was upset. She thought we weren't going to be doing mods anymore, and I convinced her we're going to do more mods, and now she's excited again, and so that's why she's back. More mods.
You get a mod, and you get a mod, and you get a mod. Speaking of mods, we've got a copy of Hot Wheels Unleashed. Copy of Hot Wheels Unleashed going to our good friend Mepper. Congratulations, Mepper.
Oh, Mepper.
You are the winner of Hot Wheels Unleashed.
This game is probably my number one game that I've played the most in this UEVR mod. It is just fantastic. One of the best racing games I've probably ever played, and it's so good in VR. That's a great pickup, Mepper.
You can do multiplayer with multiple people in VR.
Yeah, you can do up to like, I don't know, it's 8. I've tried to get a couple times. I need to actually announce it and actually get it to where you could, because it's not only these courses, because you can buy all there's all so much DLC, really cool courses from Looney Tunes or Batman or whatever. But there's also Course Maker, and people make these really elaborate courses, and they've been building it for years. So there's like so much content in this game outside of the content, and it works so well. Now I don't know. Of course I say that I got a 4090 and a 14900K, so I was thinking about that the other day. How many people? I don't know. I can't tell with some of these games. Other people have played it and said it works great. So I guess we'll find out.
It's got a sequel too. Have you tried the second one yet?
I have not. I'm trying to play. So I'm playing through the campaign. I'm playing it through it on hard, and it's really hard, Wes. These racing against these cars, but it's so satisfying, and I'm getting so good at it. Right. I don't want to touch the second game until I finish the first game. And now there is an anti-cheat on the second game that you have to bypass, and I have I've never done that for this mod, so I don't know how to do that either. So you probably wouldn't be able to play. Maybe you'd be able to play multiplayer, but at this point, I have the first one to play multiplayer. I don't care. It'll just be more content for me. And what's cool about that as well, they released so much content for the first one, but the second one, they've already released like, there's so much content. It just came out, and it's like you could spend $200 getting all these different courses. It's not like cosmetics either. Like there's so many different cars and courses, and it's like I feel like I'm a Hot Wheel salesman, but it's probably my favorite game in the UEVR mod so far.
Awesome. But you know what else is good is Aliens Fireteam Elite. Aliens Fireteam Elite. This is the other UEVR game that we gave out during the 2023 show. And this is one that I see coming up a lot, Roots. People talking about just how well this one runs in the mod.
It's amazing. I've been playing this with D and Jim Hall and Techno Glitch. You can do a party of 3, and there's actually a profile that lets you play it in first person mode. But this is the trick. Remember when I had to disconnect my headset? So when I bopped out of it, I was still in the first person mode, and I was streaming, and I didn't want to fuck it up. So I just played it flat in first person, and now it automatically put the camera on my reticle, right? And so I was able to do it. So I thought, you know what, I kind of like this. Let me try it. So when I did the first person mod, and then I used a gamepad, it's now attached to my head. So I have head aiming, and but I'm in first person, and I like that even better than using 6-stop aiming because it's so precise. And this game is fucking crazy. Like it's one of those games where there's so much going on that when you get past the first couple levels on regular mode, you might pass it, Wes. You might not. Like I guess we need to level up more, but it's really good. I'm loving it. So definitely cool in VR.
Nice. It looks like one of those really cool like Aliens arcade games where you go in with a couple of friends, you pick up the guns, and you start blasting these things away, and it gets crazy real fast.
And it's got progression. You're unlocking stuff. You're unlocking weapons. You're picking up turrets. You're throwing down turrets to make it easier for you. You're trying to keep them off the turrets. You've got mother aliens coming at you that are like super ones. People need to work together. Tech's always running off in some fucking other room. Like, dude, like, because if this big mother alien thing or these big ones come at you, if everybody just nukes it, you can take it down quick. If one person is on it, they will jump on you, and then now you're trying to get them off of you, and I'm screaming, Tech, what are you doing? It's so much fun.
Well, you know who might help you with that if Tech doesn't want to play ball is Looper, the Underground Game Cat, because Looper, the Underground Game Cat, just won this game.
Nice, Looper. You're going to love it. And even if you play it one person, the AI is really good too. And actually, I've made it further with the AI, if I'm being honest, because they resurrect you really. They stick around you, Wes. They're like really good teammates. They don't fuck around.
They're like Jimmy.
Yeah, they're not like Jimmy. No, these people, like literally, the AI in here is really good, and that's another thing. That's how you can tell Yeah, it may be a repetitive, some of these levels or whatever, but the AI of the enemies and the AI of your helpers are good, and that makes a difference. So
Nice. Moving along to Drop Dead the Cabin. Popular quest title, gets even more popular with the addition of the mixed reality mode. 3 winners for Drop
wow.
Dead the Cabin. Yeah. Or wait, with 4 winners for Drop Dead the Cabin.
Oh, I forgot D. D's been there with us too. Did I say I said D? Didn't I say D was there with us? Okay.
You said D. Yeah.
Okay.
D was the first one you said.
Yeah.
Should have been playing this with D, and then you said Jim Hall, and then Technoglitch.
I play everything with D.
Yep. And who loves to play with D?
Yeah, she does. She hasn't even made an appearance. This is the first time.
Indeed. Anyway, winners of Drop Dead the Cabin, Move Fast. Move Fast. Carl Parker, Chris of Yick, Game Cat.
Nice.
And VR Spraga.
You said 3, right? Did you just
4.
read 4?
4.
Okay, 4. Okay.
Yep, 4. I said 3, and then I said no, 4.
Another game.
Yeah.
Another game that everybody's been saying is good is Scorn, Wes. Have you seen Scorn? It's a horror game.
I have.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
figured
it's
you
all,
probably
it's all H.R. Geiger everywhere, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I have not seen it. I saw that it's very well received for the flat games, which reminds me, you and Mash, I need to have you guys hook up to my Steam, because I picked up. I haven't bought games for so long, Wes. I've picked up so many, like just a lot of platformers. Spyro. Did you know there's a Spyro game out there that you can buy the first 3 remastered, and it was like $7 or something on Steam. So I picked it up. It looks really good.
Oh, that's cool. We've got that one on PlayStation, but you can probably VR it on Steam.
Oh yeah, it's a UEVR. It's in the UEVR mod. Works perfectly. Same with Crash Bandicoot 4. And I thought about picking up the Smurfs, but I'm kind of on the edge.
So yeah, congratulations to those who won. Gamertag VR joining us says hello, Scort. What's up, Scort?
Scort. What's up, Gamertag?
Anyways, let's move along to the next game, which is Outta Hand. Outta Hand, another solid platformer. Won by Sir Swish.
Nice.
Sir Swish.
I love hearing names I haven't heard very much.
Yeah, me too. We love the new viewers. As we move along to another one, we've got multiple copies of Dark Pictures Switchback VR. This one a popular one, Roots. Which, by the way, let's talk about how popular these were. By far, the most popular was the $30 PSN card. And it was followed up by, I think a lot of people wanted Dark Pictures Switchback VR, Vertigo 2, Red Matter. Those were really popular. But you know what was more popular than almost any of them? Arizona Sunshine 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't.
Which is kind of crazy because we didn't give away.
Well, you called that, and you said we're going to see a lot of games that we're not giving away. I mean, just throw it on there. Why not? Maybe somebody.
A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people put Arizona Sunshine 2. A lot of people put the 7th Guest. We're not giving away a 7th Guest.
You know how it works, though. Somebody sees it. One person put it, and they're like, "Oh shit, I need to put it on there." Next thing you know, you got porn games on there, and we're not giving any of those away. I still haven't seen a good one yet, so
there might be some good ones. I haven't tried them.
I have not
I know
either.
that people used to swear by that VR Paradise. I've never tried it.
I'm pretty sure it's a cartoony looking person. That's not going to work for me. I need photorealistic, dude. You know what I mean? Like this is 2024, right? We're not talking about when I was 8. Yeah, 8. I think I'd have been fucking great, dude. I'd been like, oh my god. Although that would have been weird.
Anyway, let's give away some copies of Switchback. Zippies, the No Man's Game Cat. I know I saw you in chat earlier. You are the winner of Switchback, as is Destiny 11. Congratulations to Jose the Game Gato and Jason P. Westmus. JP Westmus, Jason Westmus, No Man's Zippy's No Man's Game Cat, Destiny 11, and Jose the Game Gato. Congratulations. You all just won an awesome game.
Yeah.
Moving on. Another awesome game was Hubris. Give away 2 copies of Hubris on PlayStation VR. These copies go to Four Wheelin'. What up, Four Wheelin'? And Cupra AL. Four Wheelin' and Cupra AL. Winners of Hubris. Moving along to Broken Spectre. Broken Spectre. This is a game that I've been trying to convince people to pick up and spend your 2 hours and check this thing out because it's fucking cool. And a few more people are going to get to actually check it out now. People like Technoglitch.
Nice.
People like 12 the Backlogged Game Cat. And people like Chatty. In the funny roots, Chatty and Technoglitch always win, and they won the same game this time.
That is funny. They do win a lot, man. Tech, you should go to Vegas. Or maybe you lose every time you go to Vegas, and that's why you win all these games. Make up for it.
Anyway, this is an awesome one. Like I tell everyone, give it a few minutes. It starts a little slow, but you play through it, it's going to blow your mind. It's really cool.
That's a 2-hour game. You know what I mean? So how long can it really take to get? If it, you know what I mean? It's probably what 15 minutes, and it's starting to get good. So that's good.
Yeah, it's really cool. And for what it's worth, those of you who won this game, the developer wants your feedback. So let us know what you think about it after you play through it.
Oh, how cool.
We move along to VR Skater. VR Skater. This one been fairly popular for PlayStation VR 2 players. Players such as Shades of Grey Matter. Congratulations, Shades. You now own VR Skater.
Awesome.
Moving along. Yeah, it's cool. I love giving away these games, man. We don't do it often, and when we do it big, and it's always fun, right?
Yeah.
Moving along to Gazzlers. Gazzlers, surprisingly, Roots one of the top requested games. Like we had, I think it was a top 5 in terms of how many entries we got. A lot of people wanted Gazzlers.
It's just what I was saying. An indie game that's, shouldn't work, a rail shooter. I mean, although some people really like rail shooters, but it's done so well, and it's the gameplay loop's done so well, and it's everything that I was just saying before. Every run you're leveling something up. It just constantly keeps you wanting to play. Like they know they took that class, Wes, the 101, or maybe they were born with it. I don't know, but it's awesome.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah, maybe it's Maybelline. It could be.
Jay the Foveated Rendered Game Cat. What's up? Congrats. You now own Gazzlers, as does Lou's Reviews and Gabriel 004.
Nice. Well, who didn't win was Zal2318. Says, so mad I forgot to enter. Ugh, that sucks.
I tried to tag everyone yesterday, man. I shouted it from the rooftops, like, get in there and enter.
Yeah, you announced to everybody. Everybody that's in the Discord that was there, it says here, right? They got a notification.
Discord and Twitter. I went to the Without Parole Discord and announced it. Like, I made sure that people had a chance.
I'm mad for you too, Zell, because I wanted you to win.
Propagation, Paradise Hotel, another popular title this year, especially on PlayStation VR. Yeah, Mash loves it. He loves it.
Oh yeah.
Stealthy Living, Flame Hat, the Game Cat, and Hussein X.
Nice.
So, yeah, Stealthy Living, Flame Hat, the Game Cat, Hussein X, winners of Propagation, Paradise Hotel. Red Matter 2. Red Matter 2 goes to the Mad Vegan, which already got his copy because he saw it as soon as it hit the as soon as the notes went up.
Well, that's a perk of being a patron.
Yep.
Get your game early.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I told him I posted that on accident. He said, take it down. I was like, nah, these people are paying for something. Let them see.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. Unless they were like whispering everybody. And even then, what are they doing? They're just stealing somebody's surprise. That's all.
All right. Amy K also on Red Matter 2. So
nice.
Hopefully Amy K is tuned in and checking this out. By the way, tag me on Discord. Those of you who want to claim your keys, don't just assume that I'm going to like
hunt you
bring
down
them to you.
No, he's not going to hunt you down because that doesn't work. So
if you want a game, claim it. Not all the people that won 2 weeks ago have claimed their keys yet.
And how many people have lost games because of that? And I can't remember, when MASH gave away the quest, didn't like somebody lose it or almost lose it because they didn't contact? Like, fuck, man, pay attention, please.
Yeah. I think it was either that or it was a PSVR 2.
It was PSVR 2, I think. Yeah, that's crazy.
Moving along to Ghost Signal, a Stellaris game. This one goes to Fourth Wall Breaker.
Nice.
Fourth Wall Breaker.
Have you seen Chorus?
I have seen Chorus. Yes, I have.
I went in there and checked it out, and just the first 5 minutes, it looks so fucking cool, and it does it. I think it was Void Citizen that said this, but it reminds me of Star Fox meets Hell Sinuous Sacrifice, because like
that's cool.
The whole whispering and like the pilot's hearing voices, and it's telling her to, you don't tell them, they can't, it's like I was intrigued, Wes, within a minute of it. I was like, wow, what is going on here? So definitely got to check that out.
Yes, sounds cool. The Light Brigade. Light Brigade's awesome. And I can't believe that there's 5 people in our community that hasn't bought Light Brigade yet, but one of them doesn't have to now. Mal just won the Light Brigade.
So. Meow?
Mal, not Meow.
Oh,
just Mal.
You never know. With all the game cats, it could be Meow as well.
That's a good point. So yeah, hit me up, Mal. Pick up your key. We already talked about Genotype and just how friggin' awesome it is. We've got 4 copies of Genotype going out. Yeah. Those will go to Rattlehead, Black Market Honey, William Mumford, and 2112ZOZ. So, yeah, Rattlehead, Black Market Honey, William Mumford, 2112ZOZ. Excuse me.
Avoid says Chorus is amazing, but it's very difficult. Oh, now I'm even more intrigued.
All right. We're getting down the stretch now. Crossfire Sierra Squad. 4 more winners here for Crossfire Sierra Squad. This is on Steam. Crossfire Sierra Squad on Steam. James. What up, James? You're a winner. As is Garfield, the lasagna-loving game cat. Durbin Brown. And AppJ.
Nice.
Yeah. James, Garfield, the lasagna-loving game cat, Durbin Brown, AppJ. You have won Crossfire Sierra Squad. We move on to Vertigo 2. 1 more winner for Vertigo 2. This is, I believe, a PlayStation VR 2 copy of Vertigo 2. And it goes to Melkaya, the Soul Reaving Game Cat. Melkaya, the Soul Reaving Game Cat, wins Vertigo 2.
Yeah, I've been playing through what is that, High on Life? And I used to say this game reminds me of Half-Life. I think it reminds me more of the other game, High on Life. like the humor and you know what I mean, like the weird guns and this Vertigo 2 is amazing.
How hilarious is the intro to High on Life?
Just everything, dude. Like when I killed that kid, I was like, the guns, you know, talking to me, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe you." You know, I love the humor in it. I love the gameplay. It's like a traditional platformer. The only thing I don't love about it, and I don't know how to get around it, is the fatal error crashes that happen sometimes. But I researched it. It's not the mod. It's literally something in the files, and their fix that their solution is to delete the Oculus XR folder that you have to have in there to run it. So I was like, well, if I'm going to play it in VR, I'm going to have to deal with some fatal errors every once in a while. But like, you know, I love flat gaming, and I could play it flat, but it's just so good in VR. Why would I want to? You know?
Yeah.
So,
It was good with the Luke Ross mod, so I can only imagine how good it is with this.
just being able to
VR.
actually aim the sights and it's just yeah, it's cool.
We move along to Vampire the Masquerade Justice. Vampire the Masquerade Justice is now owned by Brandon VR.
Oh, Brandon, he's psychic.
yeah, he figured that one out quickly, didn't he? Ven VR Adventure. We have 3 more copies of Ven going out on PlayStation VR. These copies will go to Mind Jive, Duggars K, and Boognish 66.
Oh, I love Boognish.
Yeah, who doesn't love Boognish?
You know who loves Boognish?
My mom!
Yeah, she does.
Boognish 66, Mind Jive, Duggars K, Ven VR Adventure. And then we come to the big one, $30 US or equivalent, you know, overseas. You know, the first one, I think the one we gave away live was a European one. So, anyways, $30 PSN credit goes to Matt and Kuda.
That is the big one. That's as big as Paradise Decay dropping in the chat during the 2023 show, saying whoever gets this gets their choice of game in Steam. I've never seen anybody do that. That was like actually kind of a, I didn't say this at the time, PD, but it was kind of a Chad move, and it was pretty cool.
It was cool because it was cool because he said whoever wins gets a game off of their wish list. So if your wish list isn't up to date, then this can't happen for you. It's important to wish list the games, people.
That's true. I didn't even think of it from that point. He did say that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the person didn't get to choose. PD picked from their wish list. So that just goes to show you every week when we're in here picking these wish list games, you guys should be putting games on there.
Well, and things go on sale, and sometimes you have a friend that wants to buy games for people. Like I do. I buy games for people every once in a while because I don't buy games anymore. Like I legitimately get so many free games. That's how I give back, is if I have a friend or somebody that's playing a game that they're kind of on the fence, I'll just buy it for them, and then they can join for free. And who doesn't want to join for free, right? So,
right. Synapse or Synapse, depending on where you live. 2 copies going out, both the Game Cats.
Oh.
1 copy goes to Dino the Game Cat. The other copy goes to LC Beats, the musical Game Cat. So yeah,
that's
you
awesome.
have 1 Synapse. That's an awesome game.
It is an awesome game. And it's even more awesome for free. Hey, it's the one thing is like, is it long enough? How much does it cost? Fuck, man, I got it for free. It's like winning the lotto.
And last but not least, what might be the best VR game of all time, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, Retribution. 2 more winners for this game. One being Mark Smith. Congratulations, Mark Smith. The other one being Bad Robo. Shout out Bad Robo. You have won The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, Retribution.
What a great story, right?
Yeah, great story. Nice nice crafting. I love that you got the whole world and you can progress at your own pace. You can run side quests and do a bunch of extra stuff, or you can run the main quest. Um, yeah, epic game. One of only a handful of full length games that I finished in 2023. Uh, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, Retribution. I feel like we failed this game, Roots, because it didn't win any awards. And it's like literally a top 3 game that came out and won nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? It just
So I
shows
feel
you
like
how
we
good.
we
Well,
failed
it
it.
shows you how good the competition was too. Like, not everybody can win, and in some of those categories where you would hope they would win, it was like you had some games that walked away with 3 or 4 fucking greedy games too, man. No, I guess
Yeah.
they didn't have a choice, but this is crazy. It's been a crazy year.
Anyway, congratulations again to all the winners. Tag me on Discord, and I will take care of you. If not tonight, certainly within the next couple of days, we'll get those keys out to you. And if you don't tag me, then you're not actually a winner. You got to tag me.
Yeah.
Name your games.
If you don't get your game, guess what? You're not a winner. Somebody else will take your game. We'll give it away.
That's
yeah.
right.
We're not going to
We
hold on to it
definitely
forever.
will. We
So.
definitely will. So the game kicked off about 10 minutes ago. So let's run through the rest of the week's reminders really quickly. Let's take a quick glance at what's out this week as we switch over to the XR update release calendar. A couple of notable shooters out this week as Alvo's coming to Steam this week.
Wow.
And a few days later, Veil finally launching, Roots, after all this time in early access. Veil launching on Quest and SteamVR this week.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm actually kind of curious about Alvo. I love Alvo in general. So I'd much rather play it on Steam. Don't we have it on Steam, right? So
I've played some PC builds back in like the day when we were kind of help testing with it. They were a client at the time. I don't know if we have it in our Steam library or not. We should. It can be arranged for if it's not and something you want to cover.
Yeah,
I can definitely make that happen.
I think it's the best shooter in my opinion. At least my type of gameplay, for sure.
Titanic: A Space Between hits Quest this week. Nice little story-driven game. I'm definitely playing this one. I was sent a key this week, and I think we're gonna
cover it Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it out of love.
And you were talking earlier today about how we don't want to play bad games anymore. Somebody literally tagged me this week and said, "Hey, you want a key for Survivor Man VR, The Descent?" You know what I said, Roots? No.
You're
really.
like, no, like
I'm not going to cover it. That's what I said. I mean, as I said, you could give it to me, but I'm not going to cover it, and I probably won't play it at all. So
let me guess, they didn't give you the key.
No, they didn't.
I wouldn't. That's for sure. I don't know. I think some of these games look good.
Yeah, Survivor Man doesn't look terrible. I mean, it don't look good. It just looks like something to do in VR to me.
Yeah. JS says Breachers gets 80% of his platform or his time, VR time. I get it. You know, like I just don't like that game. Like if you went back 10 years ago when I was playing Call of Duty, I didn't play those maps. I didn't play those types for a reason. I don't like them. So you put me in VR and now I'm in a mode that I don't like. It's just and the game is built around it. I can see that it's amazing, but not for me.
Look at next week. Madison's coming out next week. Stranger Things is coming out next week. We're gonna go to the Upside Down next week. So
I know. I'm kind of curious about that, and I'm curious about Bootstrap Island too because I haven't seen anything about it.
Right.
You know, I think there. You know, this is the thing. There can be really good, unique types of just like that one game you were talking about that you were recommending that everybody try, the 2-hour one. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Broken Spectre.
Yeah, Broken Spectre. Like there's games like that everywhere. It's just finding them, right? So.
we move along to, well, this is the part of the show where we ask all of you to please take a moment of your time and join us right now as we all go in real time and wish list a game. This is how we support our developer friends out there. This is how we help them to build a profile on their various storefronts. And yeah, it's something easy that you can do really quickly, and it means the world to these smaller studios especially. And that's why I'm going to go wish list from the 2-person dev team, Meadow Studios, Heartshot, which we talked about earlier. That looks pretty awesome.
That's so weird. Well, there it is in a weird. That's not it. Yeah, I had it in there. I swear. Yeah, Heartshot. I'm gonna do the same thing. Because it actually looks cool, and I want to make sure that I don't miss it if it sells, goes on sale, or anything, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah, and you all can, of course, wish list whatever you want. You don't have to wish list what we're wish listing. Just make sure that you get in there and do something and let us know what you wish listed this week. And that brings us, Roots, to our final reminder this week and every week, and that is how you can support us, our channel, our community, and everything that we're doing over here. Of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Come on. Subscribe over here. Come on.
We got to get to 5,000.
We've got to get to 5K. That's exactly right. If we're not at 5K by the time the 2024 show rolls around, then I'm blaming each and every one of you personally.
That's right. That's a whole year. It's easy.
Looper wishlisted Heartshot. Gray Matter wishlisted Madison. Staff and Stuff says Hot Wheels.
That's so good.
Hot Wheels another Heart so Stop from Tatum. Yeah. So thank you, everyone who participated. Anyway, if you're already subscribed and you want to do a little something extra, you can do so by supporting us on Patreon, where for as little as $3 per month, you'll gain access to our weekly show notes. You'll get the occasional insider update. You'll get occasional exclusive content, and you'll get your name in the outro ticker so that we recognize you every time that we go on the air. You also get to help us select the winners of our year-end award show, the 2024 show, the most epic VR podcast of all time. We're going to do 15 hours next week. I can feel it, Roots. Or next year, I mean.
I think we will, too. I think it went really well this time. I mean, they all go well, but, I mean, obviously there's always issues, but I think we got it done. We did it good.
It's sad when we're getting better at 14-hour streams.
Yeah, well, I have not seen anybody else do it. So, you know.
Nope. That's true.
One of a kind, and you're going to get it only here, as of now, anyway.
Anyway, big thank you to our patrons out there. Thanks to everyone who donates, whether it be on Patreon or through the YouTube donations. You allow us to do things we otherwise wouldn't be able to do.
That reminds me.
We appreciate it.
Somebody said during the 2023 show, I think it was Bluebell, was trying to do gift subscribers. You know, some channels you can join them. It's like $5 to join them to be part of the community.
I gotta set it up. I haven't set it up yet.
Yeah,
but, we can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I just think it'd be one more thing for people, you know, to be able to give back to the community, right? Not only to us, but to everybody else. So
I just need to come up with some little perks and stuff to give people for doing it. Typically, there's little trinkets and things that they can get for joining. I just have to figure out what that means. And yeah, we can just toggle it on. And yeah, you're right. We should probably do that. Anyway, last but not least, if you don't have money to support us on Patreon, that's cool. Because the Virtual Strangers Discord is 100% free. And there's an invitation link down in the description below. All you have to do is click that link and you'll get whisked away to a magical land where people talk about when they used to play VR. No, I'm just kidding. They still play VR, most of them. But a couple of people talk about when they used to play VR. And then there are other people that talk about completely other things that don't have anything to do with VR. The thing is that we're all a big family. and we hang out together, and we chill, and we laugh together, and we cry together. We share music and laughs. We watch people get murdered by the police.
Oh God, we do actually. It's crazy.
Yeah, we actually do. But it's great, and it's free. Be sure you click the link down there to join. All right, I think that's our show. I think we did it, Roots. Did we do it?
We did it! I
We
can't believe
did
it. Yeah.
We did. We got it done, and now we can go back and watch, because nobody watches the first 25 minutes of the Super Bowl anyway. So.
All right. Anyway, with that said, friends, I'd like to thank you all for watching. For Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you this weekend. Bye.
Take it easy.